It's, I think it's on, right? Yep, it just popped up on my phone. Oh, I got the YouTube notification. We're gonna go over that, the update to the procedures, right? The one I sent out, is that part of it?
This here?
Yep.
Yeah,
We'll change
yeah,
doc.
I kinda made some notes over there like this.
Very good. It says it's live here.
We should be sending Judy all of this stuff too, so she can review it,
Oh, okay, yeah.
because she hasn't had a chance to even look at it, right?
Right,
Yeah,
yeah, just look at the agenda for tonight.
good
Yeah,
point.
maybe I can, go make a copy of this for her,
Yeah,
so you got it.
You saw this, right?
no. Oh, they came back. A little higher?
Well, remember, we only charge $440.
Yeah. Yep.
So what line items that come out of the budget? That's can't be
Cemetery.
construction fund,
I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
cemetery what? It's not
Oh,
construction fund.
The extra money? Uh-huh, good question. Is that your mic? This one?
Yeah, this is, I guess that's.
This will be mine. Turn this one off. Gee, just get it. How you doing, Judy? How you doing, good?
Oh, right, yeah. What about you?
I've gotten the YouTube notifications on my phone and my laptop that it's live. I would guess we are. Do the microphones light up when it's not live? Yeah, they didn't work earlier. Yeah.
Judy, I don't know if you want to pull that microphone closer to you and hit the push button. Hit where it says push, and the green light will come on.
Yeah, green light, I think it's on. Oh, okay, there you go.
And you might want to pull it down closer to your face.
Photocopying crisis. Then I gotta take minutes for tonight too.
thank you.
All right, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Cemetery Advisory Committee for January 10th, 2025. Stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any public comment?
Is the only public here?
Well, yep, sort of, kind of, but. All right, no public comment. Next on the agenda there is to review and approve the minutes of December 5th of 2024.
I had no changes. I did just want to mention, I believe I mentioned it last time, but in case I didn't, that the Johnson map of the Belquist work, I did deliver 2 copies plus the original to the town clerk's office on December 6th. I believe we talked about that last time, but just in case,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I did communicate that.
Do we
did.
put that in the minutes?
I think it would be worthwhile to have it somewhere, yeah.
Yeah,
I think we should document it.
yeah, so we know that she's got it. That's been brought in.
Anyone else can go back and look and say this is.
Yeah, I don't think it goes in the December 5th minutes, because at that point I hadn't done it.
Oh,
So I'm not suggesting that we modify those, it just needs to be documented.
Maybe in tonight's minutes.
Yeah, minutes that was completed,
you delivered 2 copies.
plus
of,
the original,
plus original of the Balquist map,
yeah, of Johnson,
Johnson Cemetery 2.
to the town clerk's office,
Okay.
December 6th, 2024.
All right, we can, it's read into the minutes for tonight.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any changes or comments on the minutes of December 5th, 2024?
None. I move that we accept them as written.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
All right, all in favor. Next we have there is to review and comments to the burial process roles responsibility spreadsheet from December 2024 from the public work session that we had.
Can I interject that we have 2 other sets of minutes? Can we review those tonight as well?
Sure.
Would you mind doing those now?
No, we can do this.
Okay, that way they're out of the way.
Yep.
Minutes are a personal pet peeve of mine. So,
I don't have them, I don't know if I got them with me.
I mean, if we're not ready, we're not ready. I know it wasn't
No,
on
I
the
read,
agenda.
I read through them, I didn't see
Okay.
anything.
This is for the 15th or the 20th?
Both 15th first.
Did you make a motion?
I did not. I'm the one who wrote them, so I'd prefer
Oh.
tonight that someone else do that.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the November 15th,
December 15th.
December 15th, as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Yes.
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 Okay. Those will go out.
All right.
December 20.
Yeah,
If
December
everybody's
20.
ready for those. If not, I'll defer.
Yeah.
I just had one comment. Judy was here at that meeting. She's here again tonight. I would just like to request that we add some context as why she's here. She's here because she has so much knowledge as a past prior cemetery trustee. So in 10 years, when somebody's reading this, they might wonder, oh, why was she there and why were they taking her advice?
That makes
You
sense.
weren't a
Okay.
trustee though, were you?
I wasn't a trustee,
Oh, you
but
weren't?
Don and I
There was,
Husband was
you
a-
did the sexton.
sexton for
Oh, okay.
30
Well, then-
years.
Right,
There
I
you
just
go.
wanna make sure they give you the right title, that's
Yes,
all.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
All right, so Judy Rogers provided historical insight as she worked extensively with this document in the past and worked alongside her husband. What was his name again?
on,
Donald,
Dawn,
Don,
For
who
what?
was the sexton,
yes.
for,
the town
what,
sexton?
32?
32 years.
32 years.
32
Wow.
years.
She's like an expert.
Yeah. All right, so I added that language.
Okay. Again, it's just for historical, when somebody looks at this
Yeah,
and goes,
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
because it will happen, somebody will be trying to recreate and look at what happened, and they'll like,
That's good.
So I would, make a motion to accept as amended December 20th, 2024 minutes.
I'll second.
Second, all right, all in favor?
Yes.
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 Thank you all.
On that same line there, I know that was the minutes like that, the actual spreadsheet itself there, I just had two comments that I wanted to make there. We don't have to accept it there. When it was sent out like that, it talked about order from Manchester Memorial, and, I kinda like there, because if there's anybody new, I just put in there that it was Manchester Memorial, company like that, their address and phone number, just as a future
Reference.
reference like that. You pass it
Who
over.
has this spreadsheet? You have the spreadsheet?
I
right?
sent it out to everybody.
She sent it out,
Did you?
that's how when I reviewed it.
Yeah, and I didn't bring it tonight, so
No, that's
hopefully-
okay, and then
okay.
I made sticky so you can have it.
If you emailed it, then I can pull it up.
Okay.
And just edit it and send it back out,
Yeah,
so we have
And
it.
the other one was for dignified services like that. I had
For
to
the-
go online and look to pull up their address and phone number like that and reach out to them.
under the who column or something?
I don't know.
Well, for example, here, it says, it's line item 15, column D, it says order from Manchester Memorial. If somewhere, or maybe even we put it over in F as a notes like that
Putting more detail information.
more detail, well, just the information there, so that
It's there, so someone
it's
who's gonna
there
look
for
it.
someone else, if somebody wants to look for it or whatever like that, it's available.
So the
like
same
that,
with
so-
dignified, wherever they're referenced.
Exactly.
Okay.
Other than that, I thought it was good, it looked good. I really appreciate the effort put into that.
So you want me to own that, copy of that going forward, right?
Yeah, and, we talked about this during one of our first meetings, is we need to start putting that stuff on a shared drive,
Yeah.
yeah, so.
So, is that a laptop
I
there or is
didn't
it
look.
upstairs?
I can look.
Cause, I brought my thing, but if it's up in, Beth's office, I can just come in during the week and just upload there. Or if you have it, we can do it tonight. Alright, I can come in during the week and,
Well, we gotta meet next Wednesday.
oh, for next
Maybe that
Wednesday?
one next Wednesday, we gotta meet from 36, we're supposed to be in here for a public work session.
Yeah.
On the 15th.
Alright, so if you
Yeah,
can,
if we can bring it down, then you can
Yep.
upload it then while we're doing that. so.
yeah, and she'll be here too, right, 3 to 6?
Yep.
So I could always go up there right at the end, or we can talk to her and ask her to bring it down.
Or I can go get it, so. no
Yeah.
big deal.
Okay, I was prepared this time, but, we'll do it next time. Okay,
All right, next is the cemetery procedures there, it's not the spreadsheet, it was actually the
narrative.
narrative that we had worked on. Tom had sent that out, and with comments on it like that. Does anyone else have comments on it?
I did have it. Where is it? All through this document, you say he,
Okay,
and the sexton could be a she,
oh, yeah,
just so you know. I know it's more often that it's been a male, but
no, you should make it
both,
neutral.
yeah.
Okay,
I didn't see a lot wrong, but I skimmed through it right after I got it, so probably should go through it kind of again.
I'll make that change throughout the whole document, I'll review it.
Yeah, yeah.
I did send a updated price list from Dignified. I didn't insert that into this, so probably need to
Insert that.
Into the narrative? Or into
look
the,
anywhere there's pricing. I know we had it in the spreadsheet and, a couple things in here I thought.
so those are the prices? We go with that list?
The things that aren't Sexton, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, it's, I'm not sure if it's something that we requested and they sent it in, or if they just send it in when they update prices, I don't know.
My understanding there is, because I had reached out to Manchester Memorial like that, is I guess on a regular basis, they actually,
Just push.
they actually will send it out like that to the towns that use them on a regular basis.
Yeah, and this says it's dated effective February 1, 2025, but in the description, the subject line, it says no increase for 2025, so I'm assuming this was the price list for 2024.
Yeah.
But I don't think it matches what we have in the document.
No.
No,
Okay.
we'll update it.
Did that get sent out?
Yes, that came from me,
That was an email?
yes.
Okay.
Can we update that though and send it out with the right prices?
No, those are the right prices, right?
These are the right prices, that came from Dignified,
Oh, all right. And you sent those out?
yes.
Oh, okay, maybe I didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't
Double
see
check.
It would've come from my town aware email,
Mhm.
as everything does.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 to 5 days ago,
Yeah.
maybe sometime this week,
Yeah.
or
I've
late
had a-
last week.
Yeah, I've had a lot of emails. I must have deleted, I'm deleting about 150 to 200 a day.
it. Yeah, you sent it on January 6th.
January 6th,
I
I'll look.
found it.
Yeah,
It's got dignified in the title.
yeah,
I'll update both documents wherever there's a price that is from them.
Okay.
That doesn't count for local
No,
prices set here.
and then, did Manchester have any updates regarding prices when you talked to them, Mike?
Yes, they said that, they were actually gonna send an email to Naomi the same day that I talked to them, that was Tuesday. It's $450 for the 6x6 granite corner markers installed with the, whatever letter, the first letter, the last name of the individual that purchases the plot.
And you said 450?
450, that's
Thank you.
correct.
I didn't pay that. Who did they go through for the Southway?
What was that for again?
The corner markers.
We had-
When someone purchases the plot.
We had 440, didn't we?
Where does it say?
It's in my document.
I don't remember where I read it there.
Row markers. Yeah, I didn't put the price in the narrative. It would be in the
Yeah, I thought it
spreadsheet.
was in the spreadsheet.
And you sent that out too, right? So,
That the only place? That the only place you're gonna get corner markers from?
I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think the, owner of the plot has the option to do it wherever they want,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So this is just informational that, if somebody comes in and go, well, how much is this gonna cost? If you go with Manchester, we know it's $450, you're welcome to go anywhere you want.
Right, okay.
I might be wrong, but I bought corner markers for my lot last year, and I don't believe I paid anywhere near that. I'll double check.
Well, it could be
Peterborough-
right like that. I mean, the way it's written on the first page, corner markers have been required by the cemetery trustees for several years due to the difficulty in finding lots and the size of lot. Lot buyers are given the option of making their own corner markers according to cemetery specifications if they request to do so. However, this has not happened since the policy required them was adopted. The sexton usually orders the markers from Manchester Memorial as the prices are competitive and they know the cemeteries. Buyers can request any monument company or business they prefer. When the markers are ready, the company will call the sexton and he will stake out the lot and meet with the company representative who are putting in the markers. There is no extra charge for this service. So the procedure said Manchester Memorial, but, it also says there that they can choose, they can use anybody
Right,
that they
yeah.
want. So it's just
Yeah.
because the most common one was Manchester Memorial. that they used.
Also, Peterborough granite, they're usually less expensive.
Yeah, that may have
Yeah,
been where
'cause we
mine
got 'em
came
on
from.
Hillside, yeah.
dated that February 1. Okay. And I get your spreadsheet. I found that.
Oh, great, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
So, back to the document.
Yes.
So you know how to read the changes, right? The balloons are just,
Yep.
even font and bold and things, crazy things like that show up, so. add a comma after something, it shows up as a change, you know, things like that too. And new text is
Red.
inside in red or underlined. So under burials, this is new text here that
Yeah,
I added.
yes, right.
What's this, after the three something days, what is that? That's not a comma, is it?
There's a dash between 3 and day, is
Oh, okay,
that what you mean?
yeah, I guess so.
We need to delete
Yeah, I
that.
couldn't see it.
Yeah, I just auto-corrected that.
Okay.
Under cremations there, the last paragraph there, it said, the last sentence says that currently a charge of $65 is paid to the section for the funeral home or by the funeral home or family.
Mhm.
Do we consider that, I know your comment is $65 a valid price for the cremation halting.
Right, is that the price we want? I think that's what it currently is, but
Yeah, I know, I was gonna say,
Yeah, I think that's something that we probably ought to take back to the rest of the trustees and ask them. Probably Naomi has some input into that as well. I mean, she's got the experience on what they've been doing the last few years, so. I'm assuming they have been charging 65, but is that enough?
I guess that's my
Too
question.
much?
Is it
I don't know.
I don't know,
I don't think it's too much.
I don't think it's too much, no. Not when you look that they can do it on holidays and weekends
And
and
they're on demand, they're
on
on
demand,
call,
you know,
they
pretty
can't.
much any time like
Yeah.
that, so I think that's a minimum amount that.
how long does that usually take? Half hour? Hour?
Depends on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if it's got
So,
rocks in it.
I won't take this individually. Obviously, when we get done with all these documents, we'll have to take the whole document, so
That makes sense,
I just wanted to let you guys know I'm not gonna
We don't wanna
go
nickel-
ask
we don't wanna
one by
nickel
one.
down.
No, no.
Okay.
I can leave the comment in the document, and when we send it, we can
Yes.
leave them, all the changes will be gone, and we can just send with comments,
Awesome.
with questions or
Mhm.
comments.
Any other comments?
I don't know if we wanna cross-reference these two documents somehow, on the narrative, say that this other document exists, and on the other document, say that the narrative exists, so that
Nobody's
they're
looking.
tagged together.
Yeah,
I thought about that, I don't know if we wanted to make this the document and this, I don't know whether you wanna call it an enclosure or an addendum to this, so that they're together. I understand, I agree, because otherwise they could get lost.
Right, and somebody would think, well, that's the procedure, or that's the procedure, and
Yeah.
really, you need both documents together to get
Together
the
like
whole
that, so.
picture.
mm,
So, I don't know how you wanna do that.
Well, physically, you mean?
First of all, just by reference, how do you wanna reference the two together, so that,
Well, we could take this and turn that into a Word table, put it in the document itself.
put it right in it, yeah,
Just
so
convert
it's all
it from
together.
From Excel to Word,
okay,
and then make it a separate section.
okay.
That's probably the best way to go. It's the most labor intensive, but it's one and done, and when it's done, you know, and you just have that at the bottom. So I would go that way, otherwise you're gonna be
Yeah.
check,
back and
you know, you're gonna be referencing and losing and.
I
you know,
agree, yeah, that makes sense.
Excel and
That's
Word together
If it's all one.
should be one format. So,
I like it.
let me put that in there in the minutes here, I wanna make sure I don't lose that. Oh, actually, it'll be in the changes. This is like I call this the task list from Excel to Word and add to end of narrative, or description. Okay. To keep as one document. The 450 corner marker price that was mentioned a minute ago, there's no price in the narrative. Should that be added, or,
I think it goes in that,
I would put it into
Okay.
in the Excel being
yeah,
that.
Excel
okay,
spreadsheet.
so I'll add to the task list, actually correct the task list, cause I think we had the old price in there, right?
I'm assuming we did, but I didn't print it out.
Okay.
So once all of these, corrections are made, where you've done it in red, this will go away, is this?
Yeah.
This gonna fill the page and be a little bit bigger?
Yeah, it'll look normal.
font?
It'll look normal.
Yeah,
It's just
Okay.
there to show you what I changed,
yeah,
so
and
you
then,
have accountability.
yeah, and then maybe that where New Hampshire cemetery procedures, maybe that bigger at the top of the page.
Sure, can do that.
Yeah, the sidebar will disappear when you.
And then, like all procedures, we need a date and accepted by.
Yeah, the date.
Well, I'll put today's date.
Yeah, there's a format
Yeah,
to, at the
2 or
bottom.
3 lines at the
Yeah,
bottom.
be accepted on this
Oh, yeah, yeah,
day,
Like,
blah, blah,
Initials
blah.
and-
And then it has the trustees, which would be the same as the board of selectmen right now, signing that. And then it also has to have a section where it's been accepted by the town clerk. I can get that for you.
okay, yeah, that would be helpful. Yeah, I have a date at the bottom, an updated date, but I don't have the accepted. So yeah, if you can send me a sample,
Mhm.
that would be very good.
Let's see. Did you see anything else, Judy? I didn't. What's next?
You can always, if you find something later, we can always amend it.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
We did a lot of work that day.
Yeah, that was.
Are we all set with that one then? You can also Tom, you got everything you need for that?
Yeah, the only thing is, well, actually, I got a comment, I'm looking at the comments now, which are on the far right in squares. I'll leave those open. Oh, you know what I was thinking about? The 440 was the grave opening price. That's where I was getting,
Oh,
I was crossing on the 450 of the corner
The
markers that you
corner
brought
markers.
up, but the
With the,
grave opening is listed as 440 in here,
Mhm.
right? That's a local price, town.
I believe so, yeah.
But I'll leave it as a question for the trustees to.
Yep.
I mean, based on these interment charges, which are higher than they were before probably, 440 might be too low, right? It's what we, 440 goes to for the grave opening to the town, 40 of it's the sexton, but that may be too low. Like, these interment charges, full burial, $800. Is that, are we charging 440 and paying 800? Is that the same thing? Like, is that it?
No, there were things that, the owner paid directly to the funeral home,
yeah,
so
That's
I
right.
believe those were the charges that the funeral home pays on their behalf.
Okay,
But that would be in that Excel spreadsheet that we generated,
the 440 is what the town charges for opening the grave.
I believe so.
and that's done by Dignify.
Well, don't quote me on that. I don't have the spreadsheet in
Whatever,
front of me.
whatever
Yeah,
vendor we have.
I think that's who they've been using here recently anyway, in the last couple of years.
And that's, the funeral home or the family pays that. This is what, but isn't that what Dignified does for us? Are they the ones that have
see,
opened
that's-
graves?
that I don't know,
Yeah, they have to have the spreadsheet in front of me, and I did not print it
Hmm.
out. Do you have a copy?
I have
of
it open. I have, so burial
No, it's not.
full,
top there, it says 400 to the company.
440, 400 for the company, 40 for the sexton. So the company is the one that digs the grave. And it says contractor dignified.
So the sexton goes up and marks where they're supposed to dig, puts the
Yep.
puts 4 flags in on the corners or something, whatever they do.
And
Right.
and somebody comes and digs it. But this price list here is a full burial, $800.
Well, part of that goes to the funeral home, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, on line 32, we have 440 for full burial and 65 for cremation.
That would be this.
So I think that's where these numbers go.
Need to
on
change?
32, I believe.
What's the 440 in line 23 then? Is that different?
I think that's for just digging the grave, the opening of the grave.
Which they do
Yeah.
typically, or they have done.
Okay.
They're charging us $800, or they're charging somebody $800 for a burial.
Like
Which
French
would
and
be
Rising funeral
400
home.
and 400, or the 440. Okay, I don't know, we'll have to,
Do you know how that worked, Judy?
Yeah, usually the burial stuff is done all through the,
Undertaker,
yeah,
yeah.
So here we have 440 for a full burial, 65 for cremation. We have to update that to it's 375 here for cremation.
Well, that's coming from the funeral home.
It's
Well,
coming from Dignified.
Here, if, this is if Dignified
Does it?
digs the
You're
hole
right,
for the
yeah.
cremation. This over here in the procedure we have
the
there,
sexton.
that we
We
have
do it
here that
ourselves.
it's the cremation is dug by the sexton in town cemeteries.
Right.
We don't use,
Okay,
We don't use
so for full burial, it's still a difference of 440 versus 800.
right.
So,
I guess we need to clarify that.
yeah, I have to check with the funeral home to see.
Yeah.
and that no price increase says Johnson, East Ware, and Pine Grove, which I guess is probably where all our burials are going anyways, but, so I don't know, I see that 800 full burial, we have 440 full burial here, so, and like the last burial,
Do you think that, like,
Well-
say French and Risings, for instance, that they get 400 to bring the body up?
I don't know, it says full burial, I mean, they're doing all the work, so they're charging the family, so I don't think the town is losing money there, I think it's just us
No.
recording the wrong numbers, old numbers. Right? Like, the town isn't incurring costs in this situation,
No.
and we're not losing $400 on every transaction.
I don't think we could be, but especially when this says it's paid to the funeral home,
Yeah,
so.
okay.
But I do think we need to take the action and make sure.
Should we just
But I
call-
think these lines 32 and 23, those are the same numbers, they're not duplicative. I drew an arrow there.
Should we call, like,
But
say
in-
French and Risings and
I think this is something that Naomi can just tell me, yeah,
Okay,
this is that.
But in 23, the sexton gets $40 out of that 440. I don't know how that works. Like,
they would get paid the day of they get paid the day of the funeral,
Who?
the sexton, for
No, 'cause it has to go through here.
so he'd get it, so like
You
if
get a check
John got a
from-
check
from-
afterwards.
Yeah,
yeah, but how does the town get that $40? That's a kind of an open-ended.
Yeah.
So, the flow is not completely defined here. So,
Well, it says, I mean, if you read the procedure, it says the day of the funeral, the sexton and/or contractor goes to site, parks in an area not to interfere with the service. When the service is over, the paperwork and checks are received from the funeral home or family. The sexton marks the burial site on his map, marks the map in the town vault, gives the burial permit to the town clerk, makes out time sheets for the financial officer, and gives her the checks. The current amount for the grave opening is $440, which includes $40 for the sexton. So he must give both checks, or the checks to the financial officer, and at some
then
point in time, she has to cut a check to the
Back to the
sexton.
sexton.
Back to the
Okay,
sexton.
that makes
Whether she
sense.
does it monthly, or
It's a separate state,
Yeah.
a separate
Yeah.
step.
she may be closing out, you know, she closes out the books for the month and cuts a check for it. I'm not quite sure, but,
But that 440 might have to be,
well, that's what I don't understand. What is the $400 for? The sexton gets $40, what's the 400?
Yeah, I think that's
And then what's
now
the burial
800,
there?
but I'm not positive.
So dignified charges 800 and the town charges another 400, so for a total of 12.
I don't
No, no,
think
no.
so.
No,
I didn't think so either,
No.
so
yeah, they're the same
No,
numbers.
I think the 400 is a prior number, then it never got updated. But
Yeah.
I'm only speculating.
You gotta
I need
double
to-
check.
Yeah, I need to sit down with Naomi and say, okay,
all right.
is this, am I interpreting this correctly?
Who's actually doing the digging? Is it Dignified?
Dignified.
Yeah.
Right.
So how does the town get that $40? That's my
It's a-
question. Like,
I think
nobody's,
the
I
four,
mean,
I think the does the 440 come from,
I wouldn't put that in at all. I wouldn't say how much it costs for a burial, because you don't know what's gonna happen.
change, right. Right, that's
We're
another,
not, we're not charging that.
right,
So to me, it
It's-
doesn't have anything to do with the town, has to do with the
Dignified.
funeral home and the digger.
yeah. But somewhere along the line, it's mentioned that the sexton gets $40 out of something. And I can't quite picture how that $40 makes it. I know the sexton gets paid by the treasurer,
they get a check from, Beth would cut a check for whoever's doing it.
but does that money come from somewhere else, or is it just coming out of town funds?
Oh,
No,
no, it doesn't come
no,
out
it
of town
comes from the,
funds.
it
I
comes
don't
from the
think so.
funeral home,
I mean, I don't know what's happened since we left, but
Yeah.
yeah, should come from the
So
funeral home.
somebody should be sending the town a $40 check for that, right?
Yeah, I believe it's part of the checks that get collected at the end of the service,
Okay. So they must,
part of it.
I guess that's the question, is that happening? Is it happening correctly, I guess? Okay. So, then I should, based on Judy's
The
comment.
question to ask is there's gotta be an acting sexton, and just ask them if they're getting $40 for every burial, I mean, every funeral like that, so.
Yeah, since we don't have a sexton, Naomi's been leading all that up, but, she's called us in to help her occasionally, but for the most part, she's been extremely gracious in taking care of it. And that's about all I can tell you, you know. I know I've been out there once and she was training us how to probe, and I've never gotten a call since, so. The last one, I believe, one of the other selectmen did with her, and then I think she's done one on her own, so. If anybody listening wants a sexton's job, it's still open.
So based on Judy's comment, under burials, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth paragraph, right? It's on the top of a page.
Yeah, top page
The
3.
current amount for the grave opening is $440. Judy is suggesting that we take that out, right? We should say the sexton gets paid $40 for a burial,
yeah, that sounds good.
right? Take out the
440.
440 is wrong, and
Right,
it'll be
it's-
wrong
yes,
in the
I think-
future again.
Exactly.
So I'll say, the sexton gets paid $40 per burial by the town.
Well, maybe not burial, but for marking the grave to be opened. He's identifying the lot, that's gotta be opened
Okay.
for the $40.
Well, it says after the service. The day of the funeral, the sexton and/or contractor goes to the site, parks in the area not to interfere. When the service is over, the paperwork and checks are received. The sexton marks the burial site on the map, marks the map, and the town involved gives, marks out the timesheets. The sexton gets paid $40 for this service. That sound right? For these services? There's a lot of things they're doing.
Yeah, that sounds good, yeah, for these
Yeah.
services.
Yeah, comma, paid for by the funeral home or the family.
Paid for by the funeral?
Yeah, just combine those two lines
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
Let me see
We
which
know
one.
it's the funeral home?
That's what the next line says. This is
Yeah.
paid for by.
Oh, yeah, it's coming out of the charges to the family, but it's, the funeral home is the messenger.
right.
Right, unless the family does their own cremation and then later does a burial.
Or the or the family, I'll combine those two. Yep. I got it, okay. So we just took out the 440,
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
alright, good. The rest is just kinda spelling, commas, and fonts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I just put paragraphs in, clean it up a little bit.
I swear I hear a busy signal.
In your head?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me, I have tinnitus.
You can hear something?
Yeah.
Sounds like an airplane.
Okay.
Is that what you're hearing?
An airplane? No, it sounds like a busy signal. Or a fast car alarm.
Is everybody good with the first paragraph under burials? That's where the biggest change came from. Well, it's really the only serious rewrite happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's all right.
I kinda looked that up there, you know, I went online and they have, they're smaller than mini excavators they use now, like that.
Yeah,
that
with
they can
rubber-
get rid of.
Rubber
Rubber tracks,
tracks
yes,
on 'em.
yeah.
Yeah.
That they can go in and they pivot, so they don't have to turn, you know, like with a tractor and
Right.
tear up the turf and things like that.
Okay.
You know, we're gonna add those other sheets to the bottom of this document. Might be nice if we number the pages,
Yeah, I'll put page numbers on there,
yeah. Just easier, so.
make it more professional too. Yep. Alright, so the only outstanding thing for this is, well, putting the table as a table in the Word doc.
Mhm.
Janet's gonna send me a sample of the footer,
Yes.
Yeah,
and I'll leave the open questions open,
Yes.
and they'll show up on the right-hand side still.
Right.
Alright. If we get answers to them, we can close them out, but we'll leave them open. It's a nice way to keep track of questions. And there's there's 4 of them, sorry. Oh, okay, so, not quite done yet. If we look at the 4 questions that are out there, the blocks on the right,
yeah,
the first one is, what are the allowed combinations and numbers of caskets and urns in a regular lot? I don't think we've answered that, like, we asked that question amongst ourselves last time.
I didn't do any research
How many,
on it.
yeah, how many of what could you put in a spot, in a lot?
I went
and a
back to my
casket,
notes, and
where a casket would go,
Yeah, a regular
Yeah.
casket lot.
right?
well, I've heard though that in some cases they allow you to double stack a casket, but I don't know if that's actually true or not.
A casket, a double stack,
Yeah.
and where?
I'm not saying it,
Oh,
where's
I've never
done
heard of it,
I'm
but
just
they do
saying-
it at the Veterans Cemetery all the time,
Okay.
cause they
Yeah.
do husband
Husband and wife get.
husband and wife, depending on who goes first is on the bottom, and,
Yeah, if you get a double lot, they do that ahead of time. They put the first one down lower, the vault, and then they put another one on top of it.
yeah, I know that. I don't think it's ever been done in Ware, but
No.
I've been told that it's either 5 urns or 6 urns to plot where one casket would go.
I've heard 8
You've heard up to 8?
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
that was sticking
it's
in
a
my mind, but I
state-
couldn't
it's a
remember where the
state-
reference was.
It's a state thing. Terry would be the best person to ask about that.
Well, if it's a state thing, we should just see if it's in the RSA.
it's RSA,
Yeah,
right?
so if somebody wanna take that, or if not, I will.
I can do that.
And then if we can't find it, then she can probably point us to where it is located. Save the times we need to call her for stuff that we really need help on.
I'll call her.
There's a New Hampshire Graveyard Association too.
Mhm.
I mean, that's something that we might be able to send them a note, say, can you point us to the RSA? They're not a government agency, but they do advocate quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the ones that gave me the copy of that, thing that I sent out everyone a copy of.
And then the third question I added, or comment, says, need to discuss this paragraph with Judy Rogers to determine the correct meaning. So I think I was kinda lost in the meaning of this paragraph. It's the one just before corner marker section. It says, when a funeral home or person's call,
Right here.
Where are you?
It's right here. Judy.
the same process is followed.
My understanding, and I'm not trying to speak for Judy, but my understanding of that one was they don't have a lot. They're buying a lot and an immediate burial.
So they don't have,
They
when
haven't pre-bought a lot.
okay,
Okay,
so this is,
that's what you see, Jody.
Yep.
the same process is followed, as above, only faster.
Right,
They
to
don't
get
have
the
a-
lot bought and everything situated for the burial that is imminent.
It's compressed, like it's all done
Yeah.
at the same time.
Right.
I don't know if you had to word that, when a funeral home or person's calls, or something, person's call to purchase a lot for, you know, what do you wanna call it, immediate
For
or
an immediate,
imminent
imminent,
burial.
yeah, that
Something
makes,
along that lines like that, same process followed, just only faster.
to purchase a lot for imminent burial, for an imminent burial. Okay,
On the markers right there.
that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure that's what it was reading,
Yeah, just
that's what it
clarify
meant,
that.
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll just say purchase a new lot for an imminent burial, that makes it really clear, that they don't have one. Okay, the sexton, sometimes they request the sexton pick it out, they don't wanna go to the cemetery, I get it now. Okay, I think I'm good. I'm gonna close that comment.
Okay,
Okay.
Good.
The board, the cemetery trustee's gonna look at that and say, I don't know what to do with that. Clarified.
so is the $25 right above it, is the $25 charge for the service of picking out a cemetery, picking out a lot? Is that what that's for?
No, this is
Oh.
for the marking of the maps and
No,
things, recording the
No, it's,
purchase and the.
yeah, I can see that now.
Yeah, he also marks the town map and the vault with the names. There is currently a 25 charge for this service. Okay, so the remaining questions are about combinations of things that can go in a lot, and then 2 questions on the charges. The 25 and the, I think it was 65. Oh, I didn't have, oh, I do have.
40.
The
40 and then 65.
The 25 and the 40 and the 65, actually. I don't have a question on the 40, so I can add that.
Yeah, you have it combined, the comments together, 400, and then in the same comment you have 40, is it valid?
I already asked that question.
Yep. You just have it combined into one comment.
Yeah, it's the top of page 3 there.
See it, but, all right.
Yeah. So they automatically get paid $65 to fill in a cremation. Right? And $40 to open it. Or to, no, to mark it.
To mark it.
I just added a comment specifically for the $40, so each of the 3 prices that are in here now have their own
Okay.
comment. And then the, how can you stack is the 4th one. Okay?
Yeah. How many urns
Yeah,
Yeah.
urns and caskets
in a yeah,
in a regular lot.
yeah. And I don't believe in where that they've ever done that, double stacked them, but they may have to come to that at some point.
Well, just because they haven't done it doesn't mean it's not allowable.
Right.
So we should,
Yeah, we should
Figure out
just
what's
find out,
allowable.
yeah.
I'll look into those two there, I'll look at the RSA and reach out, find out number of urns in a plot, a regular size plot, single plot, and then.
yeah, and if there's any combinations, casket plus urns, because you may have one
That's correct,
person that
yeah.
wants to be cremated and everybody else not, or
Right.
everybody
Right.
wants cremated except for one.
They all wanna be together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My father-in-law did that. They have a headstone has both him and his wife on it like that. She was buried in a casket, and he was cremated, and they just, and it's a single plot, and he was just put on top like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then another
Right.
casket couldn't go in there, or maybe it could.
No, well, I don't know, you'd have to move the urn though, because
Yeah,
the other thing I looked at is the average depth is only 4 feet that they put a casket down and put a vault in. It's not 6 feet, so
It's not,
it's not that far down.
So when they do it at the veterans, then they stack 2 together?
Well, that I don't know.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just curious.
they probably go deeper for that.
Yeah, I would think so.
All right,
We're all set with that one
All
then,
set.
so, all right, that sounds good. Next on the agenda was the, update on the RFP for headstone repair of Eaton and Sugar Hill cemeteries. I know that was an action item for, Sherry. I'm glad she took that on and reached out to everybody. I did see where it came back that Cornerstone Cemetery Services, was the only one that had submitted a quote there. And, the Board of Selectmen, or the, I guess, cemetery trustees had said there that, the original amount, they, for a total of $29,140. Priorities 2 and 3 are okay, but we had to reduce priority 1 by $5,750.
Yeah. and I wasn't sure which way to take it off of, I could have taken it off everything, but I figured get the worst of them fixed and done.
I agree.
Right, I agree too.
Okay, so
No,
hopefully I'm
that
the
was-
same,
no, that was good
hopefully I
enough.
made the right call there, but.
Yeah, but I do have a question. Are we asking, not we, but is the town asking for more money from Cypre?
That's what we need to make sure we come up with a number tonight. We have the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
We had priorities 1 and 2 funded now,
Right,
so what do we want to suggest that they do?
we don't know right now what it would cost to do Riverdale.
No, but we have the 5-year matrix, so we'll be looking for what work would be done in 2026.
Oh.
Or late 2025, 26.
Yeah.
So how much money do we wanna ask? So, I think we probably just need to go back to that spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet.
That doesn't mean that the cemetery trustees / board of selectmen will take that, but I think they'd be looking to us to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, go back to that list that we had. And I don't have a copy of that
I have it
either.
open.
Okay. I don't have an updated copy of the one that we made notes on
Notes on,
during
yeah,
the meeting.
So,
that's the one I have.
the RFP with last year's money is for Eaton and Sugar Hill,
And we moved Oil Mill out.
right, to number 2.
Right.
It's in the number 2 block.
Okay.
I did that,
Yeah, that's for,
okay.
well, yeah, Oil Mill got moved, it's here, got moved into 26.
Yep.
But,
So, priority group 2, or year 2? Yeah, it's year 2. 2025 was 1, 2026 was 2, which includes Oil Mill, has a total of $47,375.
no, 'cause then they took Collins off,
Collins
they
out.
said that was private.
Yep, I have no price on that, so
Okay.
I don't know if there's a price on your printed copy, but I have it empty.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, 'cause mine had 9,750.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got prices for Friends, 8625, South. Friends New South, 11,813.
Yeah,
Friends New North, 5813. Osborne, 2250. Osborne Tree Work, 2000. Collins, 0. Worthley Tree Work, 500. Headstone Cleaning Materials, 1,000, but we could take that out, right? Or do we wanna put,
Well, keep in mind that the cleaning materials that we bought can only be used at
use the
center.
Center
Centerwoods?
Square.
So we're gonna need more for
Right.
other,
well, you're gonna need more for Eaton
Cemeteries.
for the other, yeah,
yeah,
and Sugar Hill.
yeah,
So we put 1,000 for that. And then Oil Mill headstones, 15,375, which comes to 47,375.
Yeah, so what I would suggest, and certainly open to discussion, is that we kind of slide everything down a little bit. With moving of Oil Mill, I don't know that we can accomplish that much in 1 year
I guess it
that-
depends on
with that
Who
number
bids?
2 block.
who bids on it. I mean, like this guy that just bid again and got the bid, he was the only one. I mean, I don't know if you'd have 3 people bid on Oil Mill or not,
I don't know.
so, don't have a clue.
You wanna know what the price is? Well, no, never mind. We wouldn't separate the tree work from the total.
No,
No, no,
So without Oil Mill, the price is
somewhere around 30, right?
32,000 even.
Okay.
for year 2,
Yeah, without Oil Mill.
without
Yeah,
Oil
without
Mill.
Oil Mill.
Yeah. So it's pretty close to the number from last year.
Yeah.
That includes the cleaning materials and 2 tree work.
Right.
Right.
But we had said Oil Mill was a higher priority than anything in the two
Used to be in,
buckets.
used
so-
to be
Right.
in number 1.
Yeah,
So I don't wanna just omit Oil Mill, that's why I suggested maybe moving things down.
Everything else down. Putting Oil Mill at the top of number 2.
number 2, yeah.
But I don't know, location-wise, Friends South, Friends New South, Friends New North, those are all relatively in the same location-ish.
Yeah,
So maybe it makes sense to do all them together
right,
and not break those apart.
Leave them in 2026.
Yeah.
Osborne's just one location.
yeah, that's up, I mean, if we're gonna do Osmond, then we need to get that tree work done first,
Right.
before
So
we
maybe
do
move
headstones.
26, Osborne headstones down into 27. Get the tree work done, and then do the headstones. That would be one possible change.
We'll take 2,000 off. That brings us down to about 45. So, we wanna move Osborne down, Osborne headstones down,
I would move down to 27, down to, priority, or year 3, down to 2027. But leave the tree work in 2026.
Yeah.
That needs to be done first.
Yep.
that would be the top priority of 2027, I would think, since we moved it a year, cause we had it up prioritized in year 2. And we're gonna bump it to year 3, so we would be like top of the class over year 3,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Cause we said that there were some stones that were leaning that could break.
That's
Mm,
correct, yeah, it's quite a
Yeah,
few
but
up there, you
yeah.
remember how they were really,
leaning a lot,
really
yeah.
So we're thinking we move that out 2 years. I mean, is there any way to, we do an RFP for the tree work separately? I mean, is there any way to order that so that we can leave Osborne in 2026?
I mean, could we get the tree work done this year? If we had funds?
If this is in the cypre and the voters vote for it, we could do it in, but we're also gonna put RFPs out for cemetery work, which could include Osborne. We could just tell the vendor, do
Mm.
Osborne last, out of all the,
Yeah,
do the Friends, do Osborne, and then Oil Mill's the only other one left, if we leave it in. I would say, I don't know, what you think about maybe we pushed Oil Mill down instead of Osborne. I don't know.
I mean, Oil Mill has so many stones up that are
Yeah,
tipped right
there's-
over on the ground and,
82 of them,
yeah.
yeah, it's total 82, there's
and
62
62
leaning
were leaning.
and 20 that
20
are
are broken.
broken easily, yeah.
Plus whatever else they find, cause I'm sure some are
Right.
underneath the dirt there, pretty bad.
So, thinking out loud, not having just popped in. So what we're really talking about is work in 2025, not in 2026, because we'll get the money
Money
in
this spring,
March, assuming it passes, and then the work could be done in the second half of the year,
right?
you know.
Yeah, you're right, it's not gonna be
So
2026.
it's not gonna
I
be
mean, we could put it
2026
out to bid
potentially.
as soon as we know,
That's
we
'cause
get the money.
shifted
Right, cause we're using the 30,
From last year.
20.
For 29,000
140
some, yeah, from last
that we
year.
had for 2025 work,
So,
has already been
Right.
encumbered.
so what if we asked for 30,000? And that way we could finish up Eaton and Sugar Hill and do Oil Mill possibly.
There's just a few thousand for Eaton and Sugar Hill that won't be done, if any.
About 5,700, yeah, 5,750.
Yeah, so I mean, if you took 30 out, you might be able to do Oil Mill and finish up Sugar Hill and Eaton this year.
Aren't Sugar Hill and Eaton gonna be paid for by the money that we just encumbered?
No, not all of it.
We didn't fund the whole thing because we only had the
29,000.
remaining of the 30,000, which was 29,140, I believe.
And that bid was 36,
Oh.
wasn't it? 36
It's
something.
30,
Okay.
34 and
So
change.
you
Oh,
say-
34 and
so when you
change.
say finish it up, you mean just the lack?
There was a difference
The
between the
4,000.
bid and what we have for money of 5,715, we're short $5,715.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking if we asked for 30 and we've got 80 headstones, we might have enough to do Oil Mill and complete those two, the ones up at Eaton and Sugar
Yeah,
Hill.
we have it about 15,300.
And, if we have something left over, maybe work it toward tree work or something in the fall, late summer. 'Cause that can be done anytime.
How much did the RFP get dropped to?
29.
29,000.
140.
So that's pretty much all of Eaton. Well,
That's about $5,000.
I have on here Sugar Hill and Eaton, plus the fence repair is 27.3.
But the fence repair's not coming out of Cypre money, unless in an outside fence. It's gotta come out of the,
Construction fund?
construction fund, and I don't know what's in that.
Yeah. Are we paying for the RFP again? The 29?
That's coming out of the money last year that we took out.
29,140.
Right, okay, that was Cypre last year that wasn't spent.
Voted in 2024.
Four,
Yeah, that didn't get used,
right, yeah,
but it got tied up, so we couldn't use it.
so we can use that,
You're right,
and that's 29-ish.
but we're like 5,000 short there to finish it up.
Oh, because of the estimate, okay, so our numbers are low.
Oh, yeah.
He came up with a.
Well,
he went up-
because there was more broken stones over there, which takes him a lot more time.
Which we didn't count here,
I think we counted them, but we didn't realize what the price was gonna be,
so, but our price estimation is low.
yeah, on that particular,
Yeah,
We did
So-
15 grand for
But
80.
what he was working on, priority one, he's charging, $215 per stone.
First
So
stone.
leading, soon to fall or break, needs level and reset. He's doing 118 at, Eaton and Sugar Hill at $215 a piece, so he's using $215 per stone. Priority two is the down, laying on the ground, needs to be stood upright and leveled, he's charging $240.
but the broken ones,
And the broken ones, he's charging $445.
that's where
That's a big chunk of change.
there's more broken ones there than it was at
Yeah,
Center
there-
Square.
So we just flattened out our estimate based on number of stones, not,
Right, not the condition.
yeah, we didn't have it conditioned.
we should
We
should
can refine that,
update our estimates.
yeah.
So, Mike, I'm sorry, can you read those back to me? 215?
Leaning stones is $215 per stone.
Yep.
Ones that are on the ground, I guess I'd say down or on the ground's $240.
And then 4,
And broken is $445 per stone.
okay, so we have to revise these estimates to kind of,
Exactly.
Right.
using that, which is a better number than our numbers.
Right, well, we took that off of what we had from
Yeah,
Center
just an
Square,
average of number.
and we didn't have much for broken, that's why we thought we were gonna be all right.
Okay, no, this is good. This
Yeah,
puts us more into reality.
yeah,
Okay, so that really changes what we can do, what we think we can do for
for this
the
year.
next cypre, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so, Mike, would you read off again the 5,000 number, the balance, to finish
the
Sugar Hill
reduced
and
one?
Eaton? Yeah,
$5,715.
1.5?
15, that's correct, 5715.
Well, unless I realign all this based upon new pricing, it's gonna be hard to tell how much it would roughly cost for Oil Mill, Friends, Osborne.
But it says on the ground, but we don't say anything, it doesn't say anything about broken for oil mill, it just says on the ground.
I got
Oh, wait
20,
a minute, 20, I see it, 20.
62 and 0.
So if that's if it's 400 and what, 15 you said?
445.
445?
I mean, if you wanna give me 1 minute here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can recalibrate, section 2,
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
and get new prices.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, just give me 1 second. Just gotta do 3 pricings combined.
Yeah, so that'd be almost $9,000 for those broken stones down there.
changes a lot.
Yeah, it takes it up $7,000.
Can you see that for 1 second? I overrode something that I wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah, it's, 20 times 445 and 62 times 215.
Yeah, I overwrote the, cleaning materials, the tree work. For Worthley, we put 500, that's just a hard number. Overhead tree work, for Osborne, we put 2,000. So the total for year 2 right now is up to 74,300.
Yeah, we can't do that.
We can't do that.
Of which oil mill is
22,
22,230.
22,230, exactly. Osborne is now, yeah, so,
So I'd say oil mill and the tree work would be pretty close to 30,
I
32, but you have the numbers there, what's it add up to?
Yeah.
oil mill and the tree work.
So I don't know. 62 leaning,
Plus cleaning materials,
62,
25,730.
how much?
25,730.
And then if you take the 5,700 that we still wanna finish the other two, you're looking at 31,000.
Maybe ask for that and see if we can get it.
700?
5715.
5715?
Yep, 31,445.
It'd be nice to get them done.
32, yeah.
And what's the number for the tree work?
2,500.
That's it?
Yeah, plus 1,000 for cleaning materials, supplies.
You'll send a new one out, Tom?
Yeah, I'll recalculate the other years too.
Yeah.
Like, they have to be fixed.
So what are we gonna do? Stick oil mill back up in 2025? That's what's gonna happen if we do it this year,
Yeah, it stays in the
2025.
2025, I'm sorry, 2026. What?
No, no,
Section 2.
Yeah, which,
Section 2 is now 2025. It's gonna be 2025 work. Part of it,
oil mill you're talking,
oil mill.
yeah,
And the tree work.
yeah,
and finishing Eaton Sugar Hill if there's any balance there.
this year, this coming year,
All in the 32,000 request.
Yeah.
So the 32,000 request will finish Eaton Sugar Hill at 5715.
Yeah.
Oil mill at 22,230.
yeah,
Tree work 2,500. Cleaning supplies 1,000. Comes to 31,445 rounded up to 32.
2,
And that
Good.
moves the Friends and Osborne down into 2026.
6.
Which would be, just call that priority 3.
Priority 3. Yeah,
So that's what I will take back.
Sounds good.
See if they'll do that.
yeah, it's not too much of a stretch compared to last year's 30.
No, at the Monday meeting, I did ask whether or not they were gonna put the cemetery trustees on the ballot for this year to turn them back into elected positions, and they said they would like some more progress. They're thrilled at the progress that's being made, and they really wanted to get that under before they gave it back. So, I did remind them that everybody was, just appointed through April, so they're gonna need to re-up that.
Re-up in April, yeah. We'll need to get paperwork from Maureen to fill out. Is that how we did that, or, no, we just went to the board?
We went to the board, Naomi,
Right,
so we
yeah.
signed the paperwork. at the-
Right.
Well, we filled out a volunteer form,
Yeah.
and then the board,
Yeah, I'm not
Accepted.
sure if the new ones need to be filled out or not, volunteer forms, but I would think that they probably do.
Yeah.
Probably a good thing to have them filled out every time. So,
Well, I think that's great progress, and if we can clean the headstones all in center square this year,
yeah, so once we get the forecast, I mean, we have the $2,500 that's been authorized for Center Square out of the money that came from
Mildred Hall.
Mildred Hall.
yeah,
So that is something that I am envisioning, based on our last conversations, that we were gonna do that work ourselves, or
Volunteers.
volunteers.
yeah,
So, you know, it's just buying the material.
yeah,
And then, once the weather breaks, we
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it not being room temperature,
Right.
no.
so,
You could just go over like on a Saturday and work for 5 or 6 hours, whatever, until we get tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had a lot of people tell me how nice the cemetery looks now.
it's gonna look even better.
It's gonna look a lot better once it's cleaned, yeah. And Sugar Hill too. I mean, I just don't know if I guess it'll depend on how long it takes us to spray all those headstones over there.
Yeah, and I think it also, determines how often does it rain, you know, 'cause that washes it
Wash
off.
it, yeah.
and that sort of thing, so,
and you want it to do that naturally,
right,
actually.
Right,
Yeah.
you don't
To-
wanna-
When it
wash it
rains,
off.
it'll look better,
Yeah.
right.
yeah.
Yeah, the longer it stays on, the more it'll clean them, I think. Better it'll clean them.
There's a guy on Facebook, just a quick thing, there's a guy on Facebook that I've been following. He's got he's got a lot of followers. He does this for a living.
Clean headstone.
Stone repairs and cleaning, and
Yeah.
like he finds them buried
And the-
6 inches under, and he shows how he takes them out and he puts them back up again.
Well, he found, the guy there from Cornerstone found two. They were infants, or children, and they were down under the ground. He happened to be thinking, why is this lot like this? And he started probing, and he found two headstones and dug them out, and
Wow.
they're down there.
I'll pass the link along when
Yeah,
I
sure.
forget, I can't find it right now, but it's really, really good, and he has videos online. I've learned a lot just watching this guy and going to YouTube, and,
Yeah,
he's in Michigan, I think.
yeah.
He does a lot of Civil War stuff.
Yep.
So, and he has weather to worry about, kinda like us too, so I'll pass it along. Just,
Sure.
it's really worth following.
I did watch something on public television not too long ago. I can't remember when it was, here in the last month or so, was something on the gravestones being cleaned and stuff. So I think more people are paying more attention to that.
Yeah.
Which they should be, 'cause should be taking care of those old cemeteries.
No, but, I don't know if it came across, but the selectmen, as the cemetery trustees, were just thrilled with the work that's being done so far, so really wanna
Good.
make sure you guys understand that.
Well,
Thank
we'll
you.
keep working at it.
Plugging away, that's all we can do.
So we said 32K, right?
Yep.
You're gonna present that as an option?
Yes.
And Judy, you should give Tom your email address so he can send all this stuff to you
Yep.
You all set?
after the meeting, if you want everybody.
Anything else? I think that's pretty much it for the RFP there on the headstones and repairs like that. The next thing I had there, I know I had miscellaneous items like that. The other thing was action items. I know Sherry, you were supposed to make sure the RFPs got out to all the contractors and vendors, and you did that, so that was good. And, I reached out and we did the work session on December 20th like that. We worked on our spreadsheet like that, the procedures, that's done. Then we had the, public walker, I guess, work session like that to look for the, pest or the bean site like that, which was unsuccessful. I actually gone two other times on my own like that, and nothing's obvious out there since they've logged through there, and they've got several skidder trails that went right through that area like that, so I've walked it from both directions, from the turnaround and back, and pasted and everything else like that, and I don't see anything that's obvious to where it used to be like that, so,
Got a question on that?
sure.
I was gonna contact somebody to see if, in 1997, if they know who would have put that map together. Is that something
Yeah,
you think would be in the minutes of the Historical Society, which is where the map was found, right?
Yeah, I know.
The
I
binder?
I haven't even seen the map, 'cause you happened to see the book and took it. I hadn't seen the map, so I'm not,
I put it back.
it's back, yeah. I
Um,
gotta go in probably over the weekend. Judy's gonna come up with me, 'cause we've gotta do some stuff in there. I bought those big plastic totes,
Yeah.
so we'll do that, but maybe I'll take a quick look while I'm in there.
We know who the chair was in back then?
In what year?
97, that's the date on the map,
Oh,
right?
it was Betty.
98,
98,
no, it's
it's
98.
Betty?
Could've been Betty, yeah, 'cause I took over. Betty was there, I think, for about 10 years or so, 10 or 12 years. I think would be Betty.
I'm just wondering if the minutes
Well, we can look.
have mentioned about who, somebody did this map and they put a binder together and thank you for doing this kind of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah,
So
I
we
don't
could figure out
know.
who that person was. If they're alive, then we could
Maybe,
maybe
yeah.
ask some questions.
See, 'cause I came in from the other direction. I came in from where the transfer station is, and I walked in that way
Yeah.
with him. But I don't remember us ever going like that far out, 'cause that's quite a ways where you're coming in from the opposite end.
Mhm.
We were a mile from the transfer station when we were at the loop at the end.
Yeah, and see, I don't,
Measured it on the map.
and I don't think I went anywhere near that. I mean, it's so long
So
ago.
you're thinking we hadn't gone far enough?
Yeah, I don't think we've gone far enough, but I may be wrong. I'm just trying to, I'm thinking, it's been probably pushing 50 years, 45 years since I've been out there. And I came in from that direction and I went out with Harold Hall. So,
The map only said 800 paces, so whether it's a short person or a tall person, I don't think it goes up.
I don't think you're gonna be off-
I don't know, it's,
Maybe.
I
I
don't-
mean, that
I
was
don't
a
think you're
long
gonna
way to
be
the
off a
transfer
quarter of a
station.
mile.
yeah,
You should be within a couple 100 feet, I would think.
Yeah, yeah,
nothing was obvious when we walked that, so,
Yeah.
and there was hardly any snow. I went when there was even less snow, and I couldn't,
Yeah,
so.
so I think it's probably worth trying to find
yeah,
who
we
would know
could.
who put that map together.
We can look at the minutes while we're there.
Yeah,
Over the weekend, take a quick look at the minutes and see if we can,
that's the kind of thing that Betty, she could surprise you and pull that right out of her brain and say, oh, I remember that. I remember who did that.
she might. Right now, I don't know how she would, 'cause
Yeah, yeah.
but,
Well, I don't know, it's maybe worth asking at some point
Yeah.
when she's up to it.
yeah.
But anyways, that's what
I know I asked her and I asked, her son about it, because I had thought I'd heard something once, but he has no idea. He told me he had no idea where it was, and Betty said she never was out to it.
somebody did a lot of work.
I mean, they've got photos, they drew a map, everything else like that, and, well, when you look at the map,
Right up.
they wrote down in the lower left-hand side, there's 3 different times that they either went out there or worked on it
And
like
they
that, so,
updated it.
yeah, it was updated
Right.
like that, so it was pretty good, so it was.
So
it was
I don't have a
November,
clue.
December there, 98 that they went out like that.
Well, that was a couple years before I came on the board.
Mhm.
I don't remember anybody even mention it after that. I mean, while I was on the board early on, I don't remember that.
Last thing I had there was an action item for me, there was to make sure that the minutes from our cemetery advisory committee ends up in the trustees binder, and yes it is, so we're all set there.
Oh, it is?
Yes, as they get them like that, and they're approved like that, they get the final minutes like that,
They go to.
they go to the
town
town
clerk.
office, and the clerk is making sure they end up in the binder there with trustees minutes.
Yeah.
And Janice, I had down there that you were gonna look into Cypre money follow-up, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, that was
We just
the
did that.
29,140 that we
Okay.
just spent.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
So we're all
So
set
I'd say
there
that's
then, so.
closed. I don't know if you guys wanna try and draft anything to put into the town report.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you just need like a couple paragraphs of what we're working on.
Stuff we accomplished.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for 24.
We formed and we accomplished.
yeah.
Yeah. Do we wanna come up with a quick list now, or do we want somebody to take a
Well,
whack at it?
We've got a 5-year look ahead, 5-year outlook here, or 4-year outlook, 5. You got your
I'll
procedures.
tell you what I'll do, Tom, I'll send you some bullets
Some,
like that. so-
everybody,
Well, I'll
everybody
send
send
you
a
some.
bullet.
I'll send you some bullets like that, because we got the
Yeah.
5-year, I mean, we worked on the spreadsheet
But
like
just the
that.
fact that this was even established is number
Right.
It
one.
was established, we've done
Established.
an
Go
assessment
through
of
the
most
minute-
of the
if we
cemeteries
go through the
like
We've
that.
minutes.
assessed every cemetery.
We come up with, yeah. Yeah, I'll come up with a bullet list.
Well, we
too.
can send you that information, and
Yeah.
if you could put it together for
Yeah,
us.
and I can add some, and
You
I'll do
wordsmith it for us.
a write-up, yeah.
I believe it's due, I'll have to get
Before
you
the
that.
end of the month,
Yeah, I wanna say it was like the
cause I gotta do something,
30th or something.
yeah,
Um,
so you got about 2 weeks.
yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to do. How about this, Mike? I'll do a draft,
Okay,
and I'll send it out to everybody, and you can tell me if there's anything I missed.
Just bring it to the 15th. Let's
Right.
not do this by email.
Right, okay, yeah, we can't. So I'll bring it, I'll do a draft, and then,
And bring it the 15th?
He can send it out in advance so we
Yeah.
can look
Send it
at
out.
it, but
Yeah, we can
I
take
don't wanna
quick-
back
yeah.
and forth it on
Right.
email.
No,
We
that
need to
makes
be
sense,
doing
yeah.
that in public meetings.
Yeah.
We haven't digressed, so let's not start. Keep our good habits.
Yeah.
any insight on length of that?
Paragraph or two is fine.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
usually, it's nothing,
look at-
Jack.
You don't really want it
Of
to be
course.
more than a page, for sure,
No,
Yes.
yeah.
which would be 4 or 5 paragraphs, so.
Usually a half a page is roughly,
Okay,
I would consider this optional, but I think it's a good thing to let
Yeah.
everybody know about.
good idea, it gets in the record too,
yeah.
it's posterity. Okay, got it.
All right, action items from this, meeting there. Janice, you're gonna look at burial fees, are you gonna talk to Naomi about that?
Yeah, just make sure I understand that
Okay,
what we've
all right.
got, where we've got it, and how it compares to what's the numbers here, and just kind of solidify it in my mind so I can explain it to y'all.
Okay. Action items for me there is, to investigate and check there a number of urns that can go into a plot, a regular sized plot, and
Yeah.
see what the RSA says, and also caskets can you stack? What's the requirements there in New Hampshire, and kind of where that, if we can stack caskets.
I got my action items in the minutes.
Yeah.
Thumb drive. Gonna update,
Well, draft that.
combine the two,
Oh, yeah, combine the,
add, Manchester Memorial and Dignified details to those. Make the pronoun changes to the narrative. Combine the two documents, add the accepted by once I get a sample, put page numbers. And I'm going to update the 5-year plan estimates for the rest of the document. And first draft is something for the town report. That's
Yep.
everything.
that's plenty.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Mm.
And I'm going to request that the laptop come in next time, when we meet on the 15th.
15th, yeah, our next, public work session will be here on January 15th, 2025, from 3 to 6 p.m., so we can start going through the town documents.
And you're gonna make sure the town clerk's available.
She's available, cause I talked to her this last week.
Right. I'm gonna send Tom the acceptance block for the procedure.
Yep.
I'm gonna get the date cut off for the town report. We'll wanna back that up to the prior Board of Selectmen meeting so that they can review it and make sure that they're okay with it. Since it's not something we can submit directly, to go through the trustees.
Yeah, I'll just do that this weekend and send a note.
And then, I will put forward the suggestion of the 32,000 for the 2025 warrant article for cypress money.
Mhm.
I think I captured everything.
Mhm.
And then somewhere on the action item list, we need to not forget that we have the 2,500 available for Center Square buying the material,
Soon as
the
spring.
cleaning material when
Yeah.
spring comes. So I don't know who's keeping action items, but
Yeah, the
Sure that's
PO
on
was
there.
cut, so I guess we can, what's the procedure for that? There's a PO.
I didn't know there was a PO, so.
They, Naomi mentioned it,
Okay.
thought she sent it to everybody, but
I-
I had asked her.
She might have.
I had asked her
Yeah.
before the end of the year, hey, that PO issue is still out there. Beth mentioned that it should be cut before the end of the year. I said, what do we do? And then I got an email back saying the PO's been cut. It was from Beth.
Okay, good.
So,
I don't know who it went to, but we'd have to figure that out to go get it.
yeah, I don't know the next step on that. I guess we
I
gotta.
don't either, cause I don't know where you would go to purchase something like that.
Yeah.
I think you
I
gotta
went
order
online
it, I
to-
mean, what's his name said he would,
Cornerstone.
Keith said he'd order it through him and he'd get us a little better price probably.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, there was a whole list of places on the website as far
Yeah,
as.
I mean, we can look and see
distributors.
what we can find on the websites, but if he can save us $25
Absolutely.
a bucket, then I'd say go
He would just send an invoice to the town and the PO would pay it,
pay it,
yeah.
yeah.
So, we can do that anytime.
Well, I think we wanna
Well, we just don't
verify.
have anywhere to store it that's room temp.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
we
gotta
gotta
wait
wait.
till May.
Sorry.
We gotta wait probably till like the beginning of May.
Yeah.
And that way, hopefully by the time we get it, we won't have to worry about anything freezing.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to go like to Home
Sprayers.
Depot or Lowe's or somewhere and buy those sprayer jugs.
Yeah, you don't want them too big, cause you need to carry them around, but you don't also,
Say 2.5 gallon.
yeah.
two-
just
Yeah,
you
the
don't
two and
want
a
it
half
so
gallon
small that
ones,
you're
yeah.
only doing one and having to refill either.
So I saw this guy that I was mentioning earlier, he had some, the ones that you carry and
And
you
pump.
pump it, but he also had some small spray ones.
Yeah,
He
that-
does
that-
both.
Yeah, that can get pretty tiring on your hand though. I know, 'cause I've done some other stuff where you use,
Yeah, I've been scraping and my hand is killing me.
you gotta remember that some of us are getting older. Just wanted to bring that up.
When would we actually go buy this?
I would estimate April.
Late April, mid-April,
I mean, it's,
mid to late. If you're gonna order the stuff early May,
well, I think it's already ordered technically, but
right,
pick it up.
Has it been ordered?
Well, you said they had a PO.
PO,
We have a PO, but it wasn't
was,
Right.
addressed to anybody, there's no order, like,
It hasn't
No
been-
delivery.
no.
No delivery. to-
I can email Keith and just ask him
Well,
if he can
Probably
get us
check
a,
with Beth before and make sure that that's where it is, cause I don't know for sure.
I'm just asking for a price, what he can get it for.
Yeah, that PO wasn't sent to anybody,
No,
it was just
and,
cut.
and then maybe we need to do a little research and see at different places where they,
Right,
what they charge.
yeah.
Cause I don't wanna give him an extra $10,
Right.
pay an extra 10 if we can get it for $10 less, that's all.
Well, yeah, there's lead time. If he orders it, how long does it take for him to get it in? So
Right.
we go pick it up,
Right,
so.
don't know.
We got a little bit of time to play with. It doesn't probably take 3 months to get, probably get it pretty quickly, I would imagine.
I think when I looked, it's actually manufactured in Massachusetts,
Yeah, we probably could have it in a
He
week.
gets it regularly for his business, so
so.
can't imagine it'd be a long lead time on that. Well,
No, last thing I had personally is I wanna thank you guys for moving the meeting from last week to this week. It was supposed to be last Thursday, so appreciate you doing that for me. Thank you.
worked better for me too.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
it's
if I'd
good
known
on
about the
Friday.
game, I'd have moved this up to 5:30,
Yeah,
or
well,
5:30 like it
Who,
is.
who knew Texas would be playing tonight?
Do we have any plans maybe on going out and,
Gotta warm up first.
it has, look, today was almost
Today
like,
was nice, though.
today you could've gone swimming in the swimming pool, almost.
To do what?
I thought we were gonna go out to,
Muzzy?
Muzzy,
Yeah, we were, but it got really cold.
yeah, I know. Well, next week it's supposed to be in the 40s,
Really?
Well, I don't know if you guys have been out walking at all, but everything's ice,
yeah,
so.
Nasty.
I don't know, we'll see. Someone just mentioned it to me this morning, he said, wait till next week, it's gonna be in the 40s. Oh, I didn't hear that.
37 on Monday.
Yeah.
Nice. Then it goes back down to the 20s midweek.
Right, so it'll be even
Oh.
icier,
Yeah.
Why
'cause
do-
it's
why
gonna
do you wanna
snow
go to
some
Muzzy?
tomorrow.
Let's
I
know
thought we
tomorrow.
were gonna cut some of the brush out there.
In Muzzy?
We were gonna do leaf blowing like we did it.
Yeah, like we did
Gillette.
yeah,
But it's supposed to snow tomorrow. It's
No,
supposed
I
to.
know, it's,
well, we're not doing it tomorrow.
Well, I know, but if it doesn't melt.
we're gonna leaf blow and, bring a saw, and
We
that
prob-
one's not on the list.
We're probably gonna have to wait, it's just
yeah.
kinda bitter cold out to do that.
Yeah.
And things are stuck to the ground because everything's thawed.
Got
and then-
water
You
underneath it.
couldn't
and-
leaf flow anything.
Yeah,
like that.
thawed and then frozen.
Yeah,
I
I
tried
guess-
to pick up just a big branch in my yard and it was
frozen
frozen
to,
to the ground.
Yeah, I think our cleanup days are behind us.
we'll wait till
ahead of
April or
us.
so,
Yeah,
April or May,
I had
before the
two
black
trees.
flies.
All right. So we got our work session, like I said, next Wednesday, January 15th, from 3 to 6, in here like this, for documents. And our next monthly meeting like that will be February 6th, 2025, at 6:30.
it's, Wednesday, the 15th at 3 o'clock.
Yes, 3 to 6. Town office is open till 7.
Right.
So we can have access. Sherry's already checked, Maureen said someone will be here.
Yeah, Maureen said she'd definitely be here. I said, we need you here. And she said, I'll make sure I'm here. So,
And if there's nothing else, you wanna make a motion to
I would
adjourn?
like to say something about Oil Mill. When I went to some of the trustees' meetings, Oil Mill was fine until they built some houses up and back and changed
the way
all
the
the
water.
direction of water. Then they started having an awful lot of problems down there with water. I don't know what's happening now, but I just hate to see us spend a lot of money on fixing something down there and then have a problem with water. So I don't know if anybody wants to look into that, or what you guys,
When you
Think
guys
about
did your
it.
sidewalk, did you notice anything, the runoff issues?
No.
No, not really, but there's a lot of well, it's partially shaded there, but there's a lot of moss in there. I mean,
Moss
like a
and-
lot of the
yeah.
cemeteries like to have a lot of moss, and
Mm.
that all kinda slopes down to that driveway that goes up and around
Right,
behind it
yeah.
In
like
the
that,
back.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes up around like that. I don't know, see, this past summer was so dry, so when I walked it there, it
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
anything
been
obvious
dry.
like that, to be able to say, yes, it's,
No, but a lot of times you can tell that there's been
Yeah.
runoff
No, I
because.
can't,
No,
I couldn't
it's-
see anything. I walked through it. I couldn't see a thing. But I will say that I just was down that way the other day. Somebody ran into the stone wall and took a short section of it,
Oh,
pushed it
no.
in. Yeah. Not a big job,
No,
if somebody
but
knows what
still.
they're doing, but it's gotta be restacked. 'Cause that's dry stacked.
yeah.
And I don't, either it's gotta be a vehicle ran into it, or they caught it maybe with a plow truck. I'm not sure. I would say vehicle, but I was driving, so it's hard to tell.
Granite blocks, is it granite blocks?
No, they're more like rocks,
Yeah,
flat
they're
rocks.
Flat stack stone.
Oh, yeah,
It's on the Riverdale end, it's toward that end
Yeah.
where it's pushed in, and, it's a small section, and the front part of the wall is down, tumbled down.
well, should we add that to our list of things? We got fence work on here, should we put that in the 2020?
That would be under the,
Six.
Well, it sounds like if it's just a small section, somebody can just go out there if they know how to restack a wall.
I don't think it's gonna be a major thing
Oh,
to
small.
do. I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I was driving, I didn't stop that day, 'cause it was,
Yeah,
I was
maybe
on
somebody
my
can go
way.
out there and check the
for an
drainage
appointment.
in the wall.
We could take
Yeah.
a look at it like that, see what's,
Yeah, I was just that I was going
Yeah.
for an appointment and I had to be there, so I couldn't wait.
Was it a car?
okay, we need to evaluate it first. and then-
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to really take a look, stop and take a look, 'cause like I said, I was just driving by and saw it.
Good points from both of you.
I'll put it in there, we'll go out in the spring and evaluate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember who it was when we were out at, the John Gillette, there was at
John
least
Gi-
one person that was picking up rocks and seemed like they knew what they were doing.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's that difficult what's there unless unless the rocks are broken. But I thought was bad was that had all antique granite block down there, and they ended up selling all the antique granite and brought in this dry rock,
Who, the
stacked rock.
trustees did that?
Well, but, yeah, I wouldn't have never taken it. That's part of the history of the cemetery.
Yeah.
Whatever. Can't do anything about it now.
All right, we all set? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. 8:10. Is that you?
Yeah, it's 8:10 and the score is 0-7.
Oh, sorry.